I am a healer, bringing clarity to our most important questions.
Diabetic retinopathy can happen if blood sugar stays too high over a long period of time.
And comfort in times of uncertainty.
What procedure am I having today?
You are having a bronchoscopy.
Shining a light on a path forward.
You gotta get an OR.
And finding answers when every second counts. I am watching over our frontline heroes, creating a safer place to do their life-saving work, guiding them to faster answers, and delivering care wherever it's needed. I am opening new worlds of discovery and mapping new treatments for every individual. Creating a community to collaborate with thousands and sharing knowledge that can heal millions. I am AI, brought to life by NVIDIA and brilliant healers everywhere.
Welcome to GTC 2021. I'm Kimberly Powell, VP of Healthcare at NVIDIA. We are walking into the AI healthcare era here at GTC. There's so much to see and learn. Let's get started. There's a digital biology revolution underway, and it's generating enormous data, far too complex for human understanding. Terabytes of data per day from genomic sequencers, electron microscopy, and high-content screening systems, and petabytes of data per year from just a single hospital. With algorithms and computation standing at the ready, we now add the third ingredient, data, to truly enter the AI healthcare era, and at a time we need it the most. With healthcare spending shooting past $8 trillion, outpacing GDP, thousands of diseases still without treatment, and a deadly public health crisis. We need AI assistance, automation, innovation to accelerate discovery and improve healthcare outcomes. And the world is mobilized. Exponential growth in AI research with over 20,000 papers last year. That's 50 papers a day. And the investment in drug discovery has skyrocketed to $13.8 billion of private AI investment, 4.5 times that of 2019. We are delighted to be hosting such a distinguished and diverse healthcare ecosystem together here at GTC, which has become the AI Healthcare Conference. With over 175 healthcare sessions from 150 healthcare organizations, we bring physicians, biomedical researchers, data scientists, computer scientists across domains of drug discovery, genomics, imaging, smart hospitals together in one unique conference. I'd like to welcome you all to GTC. Today, we're going to talk about how AI in healthcare requires domain-specific computational platforms and some amazing breakthroughs. Let's get into it. NVIDIA Clara is our computational platform for healthcare. Our mission is to bring the entirety of state-of-the-art computing approaches spanning accelerated computing, artificial intelligence, data analytics, and advanced visualization to the healthcare industry, addressing domains of computational genomics, biomedical and clinical natural language processing, imaging of all kinds, intelligent instruments, and smart hospitals, all the way through to computational drug discovery. Each has a set of libraries, pre-trained models, application frameworks, and reference applications to accelerate the development of healthcare applications. NVIDIA Clara has expanded tremendously over the last year. We have developed over 40 pre-trained models that jumpstart AI development and reduce data needed to adapt these models for specific use cases. With over 12 libraries and SDKs, we provide the development tools and reference applications so developers can iterate faster and streamline applications to production. Clara downloads from NGC, our software hub, shot up 5 times to 125,000 downloads last year. And we're so excited about the adoption of Monai. Dubbed the PyTorch of imaging, it's matured to production in just 12 months. With the dedication of over 50 contributors and 8 working groups from around the world, the adoption has been amazing with over 50,000 downloads. Our NVIDIA Inception program has over 1,200 AI healthcare startup members. It's the largest of all of our industries. And our install base of GPU instruments is growing now, larger with the AI models and the multiple models that are being deployed. Today we're going to talk about Clara Discovery, Clara Imaging, and Clara AGX to discover, develop, and deploy AI in healthcare. Let's start with Clara Discovery. Understanding disease and discovering therapies is humanity's greatest challenge. Drug discovery is a multidisciplinary endeavor that today takes well over 10 years and fails 90% of the time. GPU computers for simulation and imaging, digitizing biology, and now AI are all converging to make computation an invaluable tool. NVIDIA Clara Discovery is our suite of libraries, AI models, frameworks, and applications to accelerate the pace and broaden the scale of drug discovery. Let's look at some of the latest advances using computing to advance drug discovery. Transformer-based neural network architectures, which have become available only in the last couple of years, allow researchers to leverage self-supervised training methods that avoid the need for large labeled datasets, a challenge in drug discovery and healthcare overall. Transformers are skilled at learning the language of many diverse data types using unsupervised learning and fine-tuned to a specific task using supervised learning. In silico medicine has pioneered these methods and recently announced a novel preclinical drug using generative models. Google's AlphaFold uses transformers to predict a protein structure from an amino acid sequence. Natural language processing models have demonstrated human capability in question and answering, summarization, and language generation. And most recently, transformers are being used for image generation analysis. NVIDIA Research recently came up with a novel transformer architecture for 3D segmentation called UNetter. NVIDIA created Megatron, a framework purpose-built to train giant transformer models across multiple GPUs and multiple nodes. With fast data loading and scheduling, it uses every accelerated computing invention NVIDIA has. Megatron reduces training time so we can train huge models with equally huge unlabeled datasets. With biomedical data at scale of petabytes and learning at the scale of billions and soon trillions of parameters, transformers are helping us do and find the unexpected. Today, we're announcing MegaMolBART, a pre-trained model that understands the language of chemistry, co-developed with AstraZeneca. We pre-trained MolBART with 1 billion compounds from the Zinc database on 32 DGX A100s, that's 256 GPUs. AstraZeneca is using MegaMolBART for countless drug discovery and development applications. You can use MegaMolBART for molecular generation, de novo molecular design, or important task-specific drug development applications like optimizing the molecule for desirable properties like pharmacokinetics, absorption, distribution, metabolism, excretion, toxicity, or for synthetic prediction. How makeable is this compound? Let's take a look at how these models can be used in interactive cheminformatics similarity search.
Let's explore the results of a virtual screen that identified hits from the Chembl database predicted to bind to 3-chymotrypsin-like protease, a SARS-CoV-2 drug target. We'll look at how NVIDIA's rapid suite of software libraries can cluster molecules by similarity in just a few seconds. The molecules represented here were first featurized by calculating Morgan fingerprints, which are a binary vector representing the molecule. Next, Rapids was used to reduce the dimensionality of the data with PCA and UMAP. And finally, K-means was applied for cluster assignment. The UMAP projection of the Kemble compounds is shown in the plot, with colors corresponding to cluster identity. Compounds identified in the virtual screen are plotted with large diamonds. They are also shown in the table, where columns with molecular properties can be added and removed. Next, 2 hits from the SARS-CoV-2 virtual screen are selected, and MegaMolBART infers 5 compounds between them in the molecular latent space it has learned. In this table, the compounds selected from the screen are shown at the top and bottom. The 5 generated compounds are in between. These new compounds are novel AI-generated molecules which can be prioritized for further study by scientists and researchers.
That was how a transformer model can be used to generate chemistry. Now I want to talk to you about transformer models that understand doctor's notes. Today, we announce Gatortron, jointly developed with the University of Florida Health and NVIDIA Healthcare. HyperGator, a DGX superpod donated by NVIDIA co-founder Chris Malachowski last year, was immediately put into action using NVIDIA Megatron. Pre-training on the last 10 years of epic electronic health records containing over 300 million unstructured doctor notes and 2 million patients. The results are amazing. The world's largest clinical model at 3.9 billion parameters, achieving the state-of-the-art on clinical NLP benchmarks of named entity recognition, and beating University of Florida's existing patient data anonymization methods. NVIDIA DGX and Megatron have put this capability within the reach of every medical center, democratizing the development of language models. Learning the language of specific institutions and specializations has unlimited healthcare applications, from matching patients to life-saving clinical trials, to predicting patient complications, and giving physicians decision support. I'd like to congratulate the University of Florida and the NVIDIA research team on an amazing achievement and inspiration to the industry. Recursion is a biotech company using leading-edge computer science to decode biology and to industrialize drug discovery. Leveraging technology for automation and data science across biology and chemistry, it modernizes drug discovery and development. Recursion produces 10 million human cells of data each week. That's 80 terabytes. Using deep learning on DGX, Recursion is applying their operating system to automate classification of cell responses to small molecule drugs and extract insights and identify relationships from datasets far too complex for humans. Recursion built BioHive 1 in just 3 weeks, leveraging NVIDIA DGX SuperPod architecture. It ranks number 58 on the top 500, making it one of the most powerful biotech computers in the world. Today, we are announcing a partnership with Schrödinger to put the world's highest throughput computational drug discovery supercomputer in the hands of every pharmaceutical company and thousands of research institutions. Today, Schrödinger's drug discovery platform is an ultra-high throughput search, screen, and simulation platform, using their famous FEP+ state-of-the-art absolute binding, free energy perturbation calculations. Just introduced in 2020, absolute binding free FEP+ achieves experimental accuracy, optimizing drug candidates for safety and biological efficacy. But it's 5 times more computationally expensive than the relative binding FEP. Working together, we have optimized throughput of absolute binding FEP+ on DGX A100 SuperPod using the A100 MIG architecture. We can now simulate over 1 million drug candidates per year. If you were to do this in the lab, it would cost over $100 million and take over 5 years. Schrödinger's own drug discovery success, like yesterday's announcement of the preclinical CDC7 inhibitor, and their use of hundreds of millions of GPU hours, prove advanced computing methods accelerate discovery, and it can reduce the cost doing more in silico to improve the downstream success rates. Today, we partner to give the industry a giant boost in drug discovery productivity with Schrödinger Drug Discovery Platform and the NVIDIA DGX SuperPod. Let's hear from Pat Lorton, Chief Technology Officer of Schrödinger, explain why computing is so important to drug discovery.
The chemical space for designing new medicines is nearly infinite, and yet how drug discovery is traditionally done is based largely on trial and error, which significantly limits the scale of exploration. Schrödinger is pioneering the next generation of drug and materials discovery by combining a deep understanding of physics, chemistry, and machine learning to develop solutions that enable scientists to rapidly and accurately assess massive quantities of virtual molecules. The ultimate goal is to find the right molecule for the right protein for the right disease. Access to massive computing power is critical to scale the number of simulations and accurately predict the desired properties of many more drugs than would be possible in the lab alone. This allows us and our partners to bring better medicines to patients more quickly by significantly accelerating the speed and reducing the cost of preclinical drug discovery. Combining our novel platform with NVIDIA's world-leading accelerated computing empowers both Schrödinger and the broader drug discovery industry to do more, ultimately developing drugs with properties that were only dreamed of a couple years ago.
Our Schrödinger partnership is one way we are continuing to build out the Clara discovery ecosystem. For the first time in history, biology is being digitized, and we can apply the power of computing to tackle humanity's greatest challenge, understanding disease. The pieces are coming together. New powerful AI algorithms like transformers can apply to domains of genomics, proteomics, chemistry, and imaging. NVIDIA Clara Discovery applies state-of-the-art to the domain of computational drug discovery. Today, we have 4 new models as part of Clara Discovery: MegaMolBART for generating molecules, Google's AlphaFold 1 to predict 3D structure from amino acids, University of Florida Gatortron, the world's largest clinical language model, and NVIDIA ATAC-seq denoising algorithm for rare and single-cell epigenomics, helping to understand gene expression in individual cells. Clara Discovery expands our partner platforms that are optimized for DGX, with Recursion's operating system, Schrödinger's drug discovery platform, Vyas's layer, and Insilico's Chemistry 42, all running on NVIDIA DGX. Let's move from discovery to the development of AI in healthcare. The delivery of healthcare is an extremely complex series of data points, feeding decisions our healthcare staff often need to make in real time. Data flows in from health records, medical imaging instruments, lab tests, and surgical procedures, and patient monitors. And no one hospital is the same, or no healthcare practice is the same. So we need an entire ecosystem approach to developing algorithms that can predict the future, see the unseen, and help healthcare providers make complex decisions. Hospitals are generating 50 petabytes of data each year from medical imaging instruments and health IT systems that can be used to develop AI to improve care, efficiency, and clinical decision-making. Hospitals, instrument companies, and startups around the world are building AI applications on NVIDIA. NVIDIA Clara is a domain-specific application framework to accelerate the development of AI applications. Clara is an end-to-end training framework and AI-assisted annotation built on Monai training framework and easy validation workflows. NVIDIA Clara has over 40 pre-trained models available on NGC with full model credentials on the architecture, data used to train it, and model performance. And starting from pre-trained models, developers massively reduce the amount of data and time needed to adapt these models for their particular use case or environment. Healthcare environments are continuously changing, and data is spread all over the world. To build robust AI applications, we need to adapt to the changing environment and learn from diverse data. We need an AI training framework that can live on the edge and learn from local data. Today, we are announcing our next generation of Clara federated learning with global orchestration of edge clients and privacy-preserving homomorphic encryption. From a single user interface, federated learning programs can be deployed, managed, and monitored. A one-touch deployment with NVIDIA Fleet Command can securely provision the federated learning to a certified edge server, removing IT overhead. And our privacy-preserving machine learning has introduced a third layer of protection, homomorphic encryption. This allows for computing to happen on encrypted data, preserving the privacy of the client data from any types of model inversions. We're excited to announce that Bayer Pharmaceutical adopts NVIDIA Clara federated learning to scale their science and development and develop new digital business models. With over 50 internal sites spanning 5 continents, federated learning can overcome challenges of data governance and privacy. And at the same time, and with the same platform, it can be used to deploy at on-prem hospitals and leverage real-world data for AI innovation. King's College London and their AI Center for Value-Based Healthcare are building the NHS AI platform across England. The AI Center and NVIDIA are partnering to roll out their FLIP, Federated Learning Interoperability Platform, built on NVIDIA Clara M1i to support AI systems across the NHS. NVIDIA Clara is being put into production across the industry. And Clara is being integrated into every machine learning platform to make it easy for developers to use and accelerate time to market. Integrated into every public cloud to easily get started. Allegro ClearML helps Clara developers manage and scale training experiments with their MLOps platform. Flywheel and XNet offer domain-specific research platforms for healthcare IT environments that build on NVIDIA Clara as their AI annotation and training engines. And just launched out of stealth is Rhino Health, developing a federated and continuous learning platform to validate, monitor, and maintain AI models with regulatory-grade evidence, helping startups and other algorithm developers translate their AI model into a clinical application. For our final chapter, let's talk about AI deployment. Medical instruments of all shapes and sizes are building on NVIDIA. As sensor technology continues to innovate, so must the computing platforms that process them. And now with AI, instruments can become smaller, cheaper, and guide an inexperienced user through the acquisition process. This is really exciting to think about. AI-driven devices can reach the 2/3 of the population that doesn't have access to these diagnostics today if they're cheaper and easier to use. NVIDIA computing platforms serve the diverse computational pipelines of instruments, from signal processing to reconstruction to analysis and visualization. These devices are amazing. Grundium AUKUS digital pathology microscope is just a bit bigger than a tablet and requires only 15 minutes of training. Active Surgical developed a novel hardware-agnostic endoscopy visualization system that uses machine learning to guide surgeons. And Caption Health, the only FDA-approved AI-guided ultrasound to deliver advanced imaging at the point of care. Every instrument company is innovating with AI, and Oxford Nanopore Technologies is pioneering the 3rd generation of sequencing. It's being used for sequencing viral genomes, human genomes, cancer genomes, and even plants and animals. Oxford Nanopore uses DGX for deep learning training and algorithm development to continuously improve the accuracy of their sequencing analysis. With the latest algorithm, they've reached the gold standard for human sequencing. NVIDIA computing platforms provide Oxford sequencers the ability to have a single architecture, from embedded to desktop to benchtop, as well as the ability to continuously upgrade to their new algorithms. Inspired by the amazing instruments and powerful capabilities AI brings, we built the NVIDIA Clara AGX Developer Kit, and I'm delighted to say it's now in production. Clara AGX is a universal architecture for AI medical instruments, real-time or high throughput, embedded or as a connected compute. Architected with NVIDIA Jetson AGX Xavier, NVIDIA RTX, and NVIDIA Mellanox SmartNIC, it's the ultimate developer platform for next-generation instruments. The Clara AGX Developer Kit comes with an SDK. It makes it easy for developers to get up and running with real-time system software, libraries for I/O processing and video pipelining, and reference applications to create AI models for ultrasound and endoscopy. Clara AGX is a cloud-native platform, enabled with NVIDIA Fleet Command to securely deploy AI applications remotely. The response has been amazing, from the world leaders like Medtronic, Siemens, and Carestream, to innovative startups and academic labs all over the world. We are partnering with industry-leading and sensor interface companies to make it easier for developers to connect and leverage GPU Direct RDMA, enabling a direct path to GPU processing. US for US develops point-of-care ultrasound front ends. You can use it to do advanced image reconstruction and AI processing research and development. AJA builds professional PCI Express cards for 4K and 8K video input and output. And this can be used for endoscopy and surgical visualization systems. Kaya Instrument makes PCI Express cards for CoAXPress and CameraLink inputs to connect to lots of different microscopes. And ConnectX-6DX can be used for just about everything. Along with the Mellanox streaming technology, it supports the development of fully scalable high-throughput instruments with a ubiquitous Ethernet physical interface and CPU offloading technology. With last year flying by, we are well on our way with the Clara AGX roadmap. Today, Clara AGX Xavier Dev Kit is generally available and a perfect proxy for AGX Orin that is coming first half next year. We will continue to build out Clara AGX developer kits to take advantage of innovations in Orin and our discrete GPUs in line with the Orin availability next year. NVIDIA Healthcare is building computing platforms for the AI healthcare era. The computational instrument for drug discovery is NVIDIA DGX SuperPod and Clara Discovery Suite of tools. Today, we announced NVIDIA and Schrödinger are partnering to bring an all-in-one drug discovery supercomputer to the global pharma industry. We shared breakthrough research we are doing with AstraZeneca using transformers to generate new drug candidates and predict which ones are safe and effective and can be manufactured. We recognize that healthcare is a continuously changing environment, and healthcare data is distributed. So we need NVIDIA Clara Federated Learning to develop robust algorithms at global scale, and Bayer is well on their way. Finally, the instruments that measure biology, see inside our bodies, and perform surgeries are becoming intelligent sensors with AI and computing. Clara AGX Developer Kit provides a universal computing architecture to create the next generation AI medical instruments. Thank you so much for joining NVIDIA Healthcare at GTC 2021.